and welcome back to the BraindAI Podcast. I'm your host, Lenka. This is the show for digital agencies and innovative brands focused on predictable growth. We deliver AI solutions and systems required to streamline client acquisition and automate service delivery, ensuring you are maximizing your capacity to scale. Today, we're diving into the heart of what makes a global agency thrive. My guest is Michael, General Manager at Belgrin, where he leads high-performing teams across Australia, Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. Michael is a firm believer that people are the heart of any successful business, and his approach centers on fostering trust and collaboration. With a background that includes running a large print company and now steering Belgrin's innovative approach to marketing and AI, Michael brings a wealth of experience in operational efficiencies, creative strategy, and navigating the evolving landscape of technology. Get ready for insightful conversation as we delve into his journey, Belgrin's unique remote model, and his perspective on the future of AI in the agency world. Michael, welcome to the show.
Wow, you make me sound important. Thank you, Lenka. That was very nice of you.
Can you tell us about your journey and how you ended up where you are today, particularly at Belgrin?
Yeah, so my journey is a long one. I'm in my late 40s, but I started out in the world of print media. Started out as an apprentice in printing back in the mid 90s, and then worked my way through to be a general manager of that business by my mid 30s. After the GFC, I decided to leave that business, moved into various consulting roles in manufacturing. Then I moved into some operational roles with Seiko and watches and distribution and customer service across Southeast Asia, which was quite exciting. And then took a year off, did a bit of travel, worked in some startups, and then ended up in the world of marketing where I am today with Belgrin for the last 4 years. So it's been quite a different journey, and I've got quite a lot of experience across a number of industries, which really helps me in the marketing world now, and especially with AI.
Yeah, can imagine. Belgrin is 100% remote creative agency. What were the biggest challenges and advantages of transitioning to a fully remote model, especially, when your team members are all over the globe?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge that anybody faces when people work remote is making people feel important, making them feel connected. And I find that naturally easy and a good, but it is also a really big challenge when people are remote. You don't get the odd chit chat. You don't get to go to coffee, lunch, after work drinks, all of that sort of great stuff that fosters not only just healthy collaboration, but a real connection with the business and the broader journey. So I think that's the biggest challenge. And at Belgrin, we really make a focus on people. People are the priority. If the people are happy, they're going to work better. So our real focus is on that, even though that is our biggest challenge. Time zones, that just allows us more flexibility. As you said, we've got people in Sydney, we have people in the United Arab Emirates, we have people in London, Singapore, Bali. It's been quite exciting. And that just allows flexibility for us all to get our work done, deliver to clients, but also provide a different cultural perspective on design, on copy, on what's trending, really give our clients a truly global experience and approach.
So basically, you can deliver around the clock because you always have someone online at some point
Correct.
somewhere.
Yes. Yeah. We've always got someone somewhere doing something. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
exciting. And the ideas that come forth and the collaboration that comes across the teams from different cultures, different people, it's quite exciting.
How do you make people feel included? Like, what do you guys do to make sure that the culture is right?
Yeah, I think from the perspective of myself, to make them feel included is to understand them and to know them. It's not as simple as giving them a list of things to do. It's looking for advice, looking for their input, creating opportunities for them to succeed. So it's not just come in and create your design. It's not come in and create your strategy and then hand it over to other people. It's providing them opportunities to go, well, you've created a strategy. Let's talk that through with everybody. Let's get the feedback. Let's bring it back in and talk to the client as a collective. I think that's really, really important to keep people engaged that way. And I really feel the best way to do that is give them space to have success, not just give them space to perform a task.
Yeah, I love it. Belgrin has a streamlined workflow using different tools from Google Sheet, ChatGPT up to Midjourney for creative work. How has integrating all these creative AI tools impacted your agency's workflow and output?
I think what AI has allowed us to do is to take more risks. It's allowed us to be more creative and push ideas, because what used to take a number of hours or days or weeks to test as far as what would that look like? What would that feel like? How do you think that would be presented? We can do that in a much shorter space. So whilst it is efficient, we use it to be testing more creatives internally, testing more strategy internally, workshopping that together and spending more time on our craft than we do spend producing. Yes, whilst you can produce more and do more work, we tend to push it in a different direction where we use it to go, well, let's use 80% of our time on our craft and 20% on the grunt work, as opposed to 80% on grunt work and 20% on craft. And it's really given our team members a lot of satisfaction to be able to have that space to be creative and to find really, really good solutions to complex problems.
Love it. How do you think the next 12 months will evolve from like building AI within your agency? Would that be still a
I think
priority?
I think anyone who predicts that is a little bit bold. I think the thing that we have at Belgrin is, and it has been from day one since I started, even before the AI push inside marketing, is to be open to new ideas, be open to where it is. We're not locked into any AI program. We're not locked into any certain way of doing things. What we're locked into is what's going to give us the best opportunity to spend more time being creative for our clients. What's going to give us the best opportunity to spend more time strategically working with our clients for their success, not where is it going to go? Because that's a bigger question than we all understand. And it's all going to roll out. And our job is to be available to look at it, see how it works and what fits. And if it's better, let's use it.
And I believe that's the way to go. Your primary method for acquiring new clients at this point is through Maria's, your CEO, network and referrals. What advice would you give to other agencies looking to build a strong referral-based business and client acquisition?
Yeah, I think we've got a strong base in Australia. We've got a strong base in the UAE, and that's only building across, as you mentioned before, into Saudi Arabia. And I think what I can see from the success that Maria has is her strong point. When networking, she provides value. Maria will never go with her hand out looking for marketing work. She'll never go out to say, oh, I need this or I can do this. She likes to listen and then provide value either from her own insights, from her own experiences, or from her own network, and bring people together that have zero benefit to her. That longer burn builds a very strong relationship and the work just turns up to her. It's a fantastic model. It does take time. It is a true craft. And I really respect that craft of building those relationships for the longer term and being patient and providing value first. And that actually flows throughout our business. And that's what we really try to provide our clients. And that's a value.
Considering your experience across several different industries and vertical through your career, cutting edge AI coming into the play, what do you reckon will be kind of significant opportunities coming our way?
I think what's going to happen in the future is a real opportunity to rethink what's valuable at work, what's valuable for our clients. We're all being pushed and focused to how efficient can we be? How quick can we do it with AI? How quick can we get that task off our plate? And I think if we take a step back and acknowledge that that's true, and as businesses, we want to be profitable. Ultimately, profit's not a dirty word. We're here to make money and provide for our shareholders in all businesses. But I think there's a real opportunity to do more work with the same amount of people in a different way. We keep the money in the economy, we keep people working, and that business will have a far greater effect because you have these expensive people spending more time working rather than doing their little daily tasks. I think if we rethink things, there's a real opportunity for businesses to go forth doing more work, same amount of people, but potentially even being more what's the right word, creative in our industry, but more productive.
I do agree. I think we're finally getting to the position that people are no scared of titles they used to be, or AI is stealing your jobs. And I mean, it is still a factor because it is changing. We had industrial revolution, we had internet big boom, now we have AI. So it definitely shapes our economy and industries. But I do agree that AI could actually free your thinking. So humans actually work on things that makes them happy, makes them satisfied, create amazing outcome.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think if we remember, and my priority always when we're going into a business, if we can keep the employees happy and provide them a safe space to experiment and to fail, they're going to produce more as a business. And That word profit comes as an outcome of that. That's not the driver of the business. The driver is to keep everyone engaged and focused and working to their ultimate in a happy environment, because we all have to do it. And that will return to the shareholders 2, 3, 4-fold. They'll provide ideas, because that's where the best ideas come from. People doing the work every day.
Yeah, it's a big topic. People are changing agencies. They're not happy places, and especially those are the reasons. Because if you not fulfill in your role, or you don't feel important or included, that will probably result in a departure. So,
Yes.
and there's nothing worse for the business than just keep onboarding new people and don't have stability.
Yeah, very true. That's very true.
While we're speaking teams and people, do you think it would have a little bit of impact on how do we work with juniors or like people who just entering, the market? What are your thoughts on this one? How they can still make it work?
Oh, look, 100%. And it's something that I've thought about regularly. And I look back on my career and I look at the businesses I've worked with, from small businesses through to large multinationals. I think there's a very significant responsibility on the larger businesses, the large multinationals, to ensure they still bring the best juniors through and not cut them out just yet, and provide that education and that training without AI. Don't look for the efficiencies just yet. Provide them that work experience, the work experience of working long hours, of having to solve complex problems creatively, of having to contribute to team conversations and spend the time, because they're the future of those large businesses. In 20 years, they will be the people in middle management, in senior management, running the place. And if they don't have the experience that we have had in working those solutions and collaborating with other businesses, other teams, and it's all through I think it will be a lesser business. Yes, you'll have answers quicker. Yes, you'll have more information. Yes, you'll be able to process things, but it's the ability to understand it and then be able to articulate where the business needs to go going forward. I think that's where the benefit is. So I think big business has a responsibility to continue to train the juniors, and so does small business. Every business has it, but as a broader thought process, I think that really needs to be a direct and intentional thought from large business.
Yeah.
Where I think it's going to be.
I had a very interesting chat yesterday, and we ended up talking about what if you and me, we're going to retire? Who will step into our roles if there won't be enough workforce to go through it, trenches, understand, challenge them, critical thinking, all this, basically all leadership, right? Like it started somewhere. So it'll be definitely interesting to see what will evolve in the next few years.
Oh, look, 100%. I think every business talks about succession planning. Every business talks about that, and potentially it's not done to its fullest extent. And I think the smart businesses will look at true succession planning and not focus on succession planning from an IA space. It's from an experience based, and understanding who fits with the culture, and understanding who fits with the values, and understanding who fits with our clients, and bringing those people the way and spending the time. Ultimately, people management and people leadership is about spending time with people, helping them understand and providing them a space to succeed in. And if we just get AI to do the work and be transactional, we'll deliver to our shareholders straight away. We'll get returns to the bottom line. But long term, your business is going to have vulnerabilities.
Tell us a little bit more about your projects, your creative agencies. You have global clients, international clients. What are you guys up to? Can you share something what you recently worked on?
From coffee businesses in Australia, we have one of the largest cable companies across the globe, based out of Saudi Arabia. That's quite an interesting business. It's obviously a bit working with them from a design perspective and social media perspective, and across the Middle East, it's quite a different interaction. So that's been quite exciting. We're with a mid-sized tier consulting firm out of the UAE. And that's exciting as well, because that's B2B, that's B2C, and that provides us with a very different lens of how to communicate with that community. And so, yeah, and we're across education here in Australia, we're across fitness here in Australia. So yeah, we are basically an agnostic company when it comes to industries. We're more about providing that fundamentals around the marketing, around the creative side, around the data, what works, what doesn't work, and testing with our clients, and ultimately with their customers. And we've got exciting project coming up shortly, a large restaurant chain of 18 across Australia that we'll be working with in the coming months, which is going to be a really exciting project for us. And that just, again, being exposed into other industries is a strength of ours because it allows us to think differently and take learnings from other industries and bring them into where you wouldn't normally bring in learnings. And I think my background helps with that, coming from print and watches and luxury and manufacturing. I think my experience to jump across those industries allows us to make connections across industries and now continents.
And Middle East, obviously different worlds.
Yes,
What do
significantly.
you, how do you, what do you think is the biggest difference when it comes to campaigns or creatives?
I think the challenge is every industry is different and every marketplace is different. And we know that from designing ads and creatives and what Meta's placing on us now with the attitude to get our creatives right, to find the right audience. And I think what that's highlighting for us is a lot of awareness about who you're talking to and especially how they take their information. Especially we find in the Middle East, they like a lot of information, whereas we find when we're dealing with Australia or England, as an example, where we're more less is more. 3 words, 5 words on a social media post, less is more. Whereas we find with our clients in the UAE and Saudi Arabia, where they enjoy more language, more information, more chest beating. And I think the thing we take from the Middle East and apply here to Australia is they're very brave. They're very brave with their marketing. That they like to stand out and say, "We are number one, and here are the reasons. Come and be a part of us." And I think sometimes in Australia we're a little bit more subtle. We are a little bit more laid back with our communication in our marketing, and so we're starting to bring that into our Australian content, and we're seeing some significant results. So now we're actually seeing the most results with that with our personal LinkedIn. After various people's LinkedIn for them, we have interviews,
Okay.
we run their podcasts, and then we present them to their communities, not necessarily talking about their business or talking about what they actually do. It's what they're actually good at. So you might run a shoe company, but your expertise are really in networking. And so we get them to talk about networking, relating it to their shoe company, and then providing value. And we see a lot of interaction with that. And what we're seeing is that taking the lessons from the Middle East, where they're braver and bold and really say what they think, providing that we do that with our Australian personal LinkedIn, and it's actually providing a lot more value, and people are resonating with it. So it's quite exciting to see the differences there.
There are people that think being broad is not always best. You should niche down, focus on one, and become really specialist at it. And I know there's just kind of different tactics, and it's great to see that from your perspective, it's been working really well.
Yeah, no, it's very, very exciting for us. We take it as a challenge to look at those industries and go, how can we bring all our learnings together to amplify what we're seeing is working?
Before I let you go, I have one more question for you. What would be one piece of advice for another agencies that they try to scale, grow, potentially expand, internationally? How to do it? What to do? What would be your suggestion?
Yeah, I think, and Maria and I often talk about this, and I think it's about carving out the space with all the tools that we have today to be creative, whether that's being creative in the true design sense or the true strategy sense, or being creative in how you're going to go to new markets. Use the tools, not to remove your workforce, but use the tools to maximize what you get out of your people and what you get out of your own time. And that would be my advice across every business, every industry right now. It's maximize that creative space, maximize all the experience that we have. Don't remove it.
Thank you, Michael. That was incredible. Lastly, what would be the best way for our audience to get in touch with you or actually learn more about Belgrin?
We've got websites, we've got our LinkedIn, we've got it all. So I think just jump on there, come find us, reach out to Maria, reach out to myself. Always available and always up for a chat.
For all our listeners, all these links will be down below in the description. So just have a look. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you soon with another interesting topic. Thank you, Michael. Bye.
Thanks, Lenka.